Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you know, Amazon Prime Day came and went. And while I had initially thought there was nothing for me on Prime Day, when I started looking through my wish list items, I noticed some price drops. So on the actual Prime Day page of the Amazon website, none of these items were listed. But then from my wish list, it said, hey, the price dropped 20%. I'm like, 20%? That's awfully steep. So when I opened this one, which is the Paul Rubens here, it said it was part of Prime Day, and it was 20% off plus a coupon. So I couldn't turn that down. So I got the 48 count Paul Rubens, and these are the glitter set. So 48 glitter. Now, they come in this beautiful, by the way, box. It was shrink wrapped, but I'm impatient, so I already unshrink wrapped it. I want to get the lid off. All right. Once you pull the lid off, it has this gorgeous cloth. So they actually give you a cloth. Thank you. And pull out the tray. But I mean, look at this cloth. This is awesome. It's actually a cloth you can use to clean your water brushes, to soak up your palette, and it's huge. It's like 11 by 17. It's long. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, I kind of feel bad throwing that box out, but what am I going to do with it? All right, so here is the palette. Pop this bad boy open. Mixing tray up top. And if we pop this open, it just has a little brochure that goes over all of the colors, not just the ones in this set. And then this here, this swatch sheet, this is watercolor paper, and it actually has the name and number of each one here. So that is pretty nifty. And then here are, in all of their glory, the beautiful watercolors. So these are half pans. Half cakes, I should say. But as an example, on the front, you will see the code C4706, and then on the side, it actually says the number. Well, let's make sure that lines up, because this doesn't seem to. C4706. These even in order? Okay, yeah, it is copper. Okay, weird. So it said copper, but it's purple, so it threw me off. But it says copper pearlescent watercolor paint. And the only thing is once you remove that label, they are not labeled at all anymore. You could, of course, take a Sharpie if you wanted and put it on there, but that's a lot of work and not for me. It looks like the chart here has them all in the right order. Yeah, so they're going this way. So they go that way, and then C500. What's weird is they're not in numerical order, so that can really throw you off. But C500, okay, starts there, and then 4605. So yeah, they just go in this order here. So what I am going to do today, just to swatch them with you guys, is I'll probably swatch them on this sheet, but I will put a few on my printable that I have made because I want to test it on my watercolor paper and not theirs. So I did make a 48 count swatch chart for watercolors. This is only for watercolors. It has a long box so that you can drag the color across. This is actually printed on watercolor paper, which is why my marker looks all funky. But it actually prints really well on this paper. The Arteza one is a lot thicker, heavier poundage, doesn't like to go through my printer as easily. But yeah, I did make a 48 count swatch chart for watercolors. It even has little watercolor splashes here and a brush. This will be going up on my Facebook group for you guys if you want a 48 count swatch chart for your watercolors. I may eventually just make it for Paul Rubens, but we'll see when we get there. However, yeah, I think I'll do a couple on this paper just to show it to you guys. but I'm also going to swatch this one, and you're probably like, well, why would you swatch them twice? That's because this goes into my big book of swatch charts that I've been collecting, and then this is always nice to have in the palette folded up. That way if I take this traveling, I have this like with me, and I'm probably, yeah, there's no good way to label these, so I'll just have to keep it as is. But either way, same thing with my Jane Davenports. I swatched them and then kept them in there also. So I have 2 swatches, but hey, it's just more time to play around with them. So unlike the Jane Davenports, oh, other than my nails, let me get my knife. Okay. So yeah, unlike the Jane Davenports, these peel off really easy. Okay. Well, now you're just making a liar out of me. It's because I'm on camera. So yeah, you can peel it back with your knife, is what I'm gonna do because my nails can't grip it. I wish though it had the code on the actual cake. I know that's like asking a lot for them to deal with, but still. Oh, look at that color though. See the shimmer already? Oh my gosh. You guys know I love glitter. So yeah, that is my biggest fear though, is just the fact that these won't be labeled. I wonder, actually I have an idea. It won't have the number, but it'll have, okay, we're testing a theory. So I just cut off the name real quick, and I am going to put that at the bottom of my little cake here. There, now it says flash red, and so when I pop it back in here, I can actually see that it says flash red. So I think I will do that with all these when I take them apart. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So what I'm gonna do is pause, because this is gonna take longer than I planned now that I'm doing that, but I'm gonna go through, label and peel these all off, and then I am gonna pre-wet them. I use just my Distress ink sprayer. Any sprayer, dropper, you can even use a water brush and just drop them in. I'm gonna pre-wet them. Maybe a couple I'll leave dry just to see how much wetting they need. Usually when they're brand new cakes, they don't need a lot, but that would kind of depend. Oh, look at this. This pops out and you have more palettes to play with. So this is actually a really good design because I have more mixing palettes. So I have a large one and I have small ones here as well. Oh my gosh, I love these Paul Rubens already. Okay, enough talking. I am going to pull these apart and then we will be back to swatch. Okay, we are back. That took a lot longer than I had planned. I hate the individually wrapped cakes. I know they do it because a lot of companies have open stock and whatnot, but still doesn't mean it's enjoyable. But I put them back in. Let's get our manufacturer swatch chart, because that's what we'll be swatching all of them on today, but I will do a few on my chart I made as well. So I'm going to move these off to the side. You'll notice they're dry right now. I wanted to test them because they're brand new, if they would be good without being wet first. So as always, you should have a clean jar and a dirty jar. My dirty jar isn't dirty yet because I haven't done anything, but it will be soon. You always take your clean water. I need to move the paints on this side. That would make a lot more sense. Ooh, they are nice and creamy though. Seems to be mixing okay without being pre-wet. Of course, like I said, these are new, but as your cake pans, are old and constantly become wet and then dry, wet and then dry, you're going to obviously need to pre-wet them. And you can just spritz them with a water bottle and call it a day. So this is Pearl Silver White, which you guys are not going to be able to see, but I can. Okay, so let's get on to Flashing Pearl. This one's also not going to show up for you guys. So these first few might not be the best ones to swatch. Okay, so Flashing Pearl needs some time to soak in, so let me try the other one. Like I said, I wanted to test these and see if they could go straight from dry or not, especially because they're brand new, but like the Flashing Pearl here is definitely not. So next is Flash Blue, although I would call this purple. The cake itself looks purple. That's not even a color. All right, I think what I'm gonna have to do is wet these because this is definitely not a color. So I'm gonna wet them, take a little break, have a snack, I guess, and then we will be back. Okay, I've let these sit. Now let's try this again. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little more. In fact, move some things so it's not blocking my light. Okay, so now we are on Flash Blue, but even after sitting there, Flash Blue is a white. I got a little hair. So that's interesting. It's not blue at all. Okay, Pearl Platinum. Guess these first few colors are gonna be kind of boring. But there are some very vibrant colors in this palette, so I really want to get to those. Or not. These would look better on black paper. This is like the worst white paper here. Okay, Flash Yellow. So that is 5 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one will have some color. Just mixing it up a little extra more. Okay, so now we're on to Flash Yellow. There we go. Finally some color. So all these are like white. And we'll check out the glittery after we swatch a few. Okay, so now we are on Apricot. Now some of the foils that like cover these cake pans don't even match the color that was under them. A lot of them were brown and then I would lift it and it was like green. Like, oh, here's Apricot. Now Deep Interference Yellow. Alrighty then. At least we're getting into colors we can see. Oops, sorry, I should help. Sorry, my game got thrown off by unwrapping these, I think. Okay, Deep Interference Orange. That's an interesting name. Ooh, this is gonna be orangey. Can already tell. Look at that. That is pretty. I'm not seeing the sparkle myself right now, but let's see, Symphony Yellow. Doesn't mean it's not there. I might have to hold it up more to the light. Okay, so let's get the Symphony Yellow. This is a light one. And of course you can have these as concentrated or as wet as you want. Let's see, green, gold, green. But with them being like a metallic glitter set, you might want them more concentrated than wet, depending on how you're using them, I guess. That's definitely a gold. All right, royal gold. I almost think I should swatch them on the other side, but the way they have them labeled, it wouldn't make sense. So you have to swatch it on this side. All right, Bronze Satin. Where's my water cups? So that is this one here. That one's lovely. I'm using less water because I'm noticing these wash out pretty easily. All right, so now we're on to bronze. This one's gonna be rough because it's right in the middle of a fold here, but ooh, look at that. It's very pretty. All right, Flare Red. The cake, it like looks like a pink, and it looks pink as I'm mixing it, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna say this is a pink. Still very pretty though. All right, now we are on Deep Interference Red. Now I know these sound like, you know, they'd be Italian or something, but they're actually made in China, just FYI. So you do have the Chinese, or actually, or are they made in Japan? I have another watercolor set, so I always mix the two. All right, Wine Red. I'll look at the pamphlet in just a second. Okay, here's our Wine Red. Wow, that one's too dry. I spritz these pretty heavily too, and they're already drying. Soaking it up. So that's a really dark, luscious color. Okay, Red Brown. Kind of looks like the Wine Red, but there's a tinge of difference, not a lot. Okay, Wine Red Satin. These are going to be easy to mix up. Those are all very close to one another. Network Purple. And by the way, I'm just using a number 4 round brush. Ooh. So what's interesting is these definitely do not look like the color on the brush. This looks like a purple, that looks like a brown. Interesting. And I'm not mixing them, I'm not making any mud here. All right, the next one is called Purple. So let's see what that looks like. What's funny is on the brush, this one looks red. This is purple. Yeah, that looks like a red color. That should almost be wine red. Okay, let's do Purple Satin. I'm gonna say their naming is kind of weird. These are all more earth tones, so I'm wondering what the browns are going to look like. All right, Color Red. Let's see, as I'm mixing this one up, it looks pink on my brush. Yep, and it's like a red violet-ish. Okay, pink. Will pink actually be pink? That is the question of the day. I hope they do have some genuine purples up in here. Okay, so here's pink. That's pretty. Very pretty. All right, rose red. Thinking this is going to be a pinkish. We'll see once I mix it up. These are all very similar. Let's see if I can get a more concentrated fill on my brush. Okay, now we're back at the top doing grape. Is that grape myrtle or crepe myrtle? I'm gonna say grape. Looks like a G. And this in the cake, and while I'm mixing it, looks like a really pretty purple pink. Let's see, but let's see what it looks like on the paper. Yeah, that one's actually purple pink. Okay. I wanted to add a little more concentrated. I mean, my rinse water is definitely getting all shimmery, but I'm not seeing a ton of shimmer coming off of these as I paint them, whereas like my Kuretake ones and my Calero ones, instantly. All right, Symphony Purple. Well, that one's too dry. Nope, that's just the color. Let's see if I can wet it a teensy bit and get more color out of that cake. So if you ever like spritz your tray, you should spritz it and leave it for like a couple minutes. Walk away, get a drink, come back, mix them up. That is a really ugly purple. All right, this one's called Copper, and this is like one of those ones where the name totally doesn't match because it looks like a unicorn purple almost to me. Definitely does not look like a copper. Yeah, that's a unicorn freaking purple. It's pretty though, but it's definitely not copper. Okay, Symphony Blue. This one does look blue. They look so much prettier on my brush. Okay, Deep Interference Blue. That's a pretty blue. Okay, Flash Blue. What does Flash Blue look like? Yep, this is one of the other ones that are kind of hard. Okay, so the Flash ones, I've noticed are a little harder. Ooh, but luscious. All right. Gold Blue. I know some of these look probably similar on camera. They look semi-similar to me too, but there's like small differences. Right, Shiny Blue. I don't know where the sun went today, so that's kind of killing the shimmer mode here. But you can see the shimmer on my brush. All right, Deep Interference Green. This almost looks like a seafoam green as I mix it. Yep, it definitely is. Flash green. Okay, fruit green. The cake pan looks like almost like a lime color. It's a very light lime color. Okay, gold green. Which is more of a teal. Okay, golden maroon. Yeah, I don't know what's up with their names. Maybe if anyone's more experienced in Paul Rubens, you can explain what the heck is up with these names. Or is this just how they are? That is so weird it looks that way, because that is not anything like what it looks like on my brush or the cake pan. So golden maroon is this color that I just did, and it's a lot brighter of a green than it's coming out on my paper. Okay, let's see what the dark green brings to the table. What's weird is a lot of these are very muddy looking, and I am not contaminating my water. So it's kind of, All right, let's get some brown green. They just don't look as vibrant as they do in the pans. Like in the pans, you're like, holy cow, those are gorgeous. All right, dark brown. And then once you get them on the paper, you're like, ew, what am I playing with here? Okay, well, at least that one's true to its name. Flashing copper brown. That one I had a little too much water on, but it's still not a bad color. Brown. It looks like we'll be getting into grays and then some other ones. And I did get a 48 regular set, not glitter, just regular, that I will be swatching, not today, but on another video. Silver gray. That one actually works. And I'm very curious to see how those perform, considering how these look. These aren't bad, it's just, I mean, because the colors are never going to be exactly like the cake. I mean, you're adding water and you're diluting them, but usually they're pretty close. Silver black. Okay. This one's very thick. It's like a Payne's gray almost. Okay, so flash purple. I really hope this is like a luscious purple because this set really needs it. I mean, as these are drying, they're looking better, so that's good. All right, what is flash purple? It is gray. Woo, maybe it'll dry more purplish though, because these purples up here as they dry are looking a lot better. All right, pearl is golden. Oops, totally stuck my finger in that one. So this definitely looks gold. It's kind of randomly placed in this palette down here, but let's see. That could be because these are more metallic. All right, and then gem red. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my other swatch chart, let those dry for a minute, and I'm just gonna swatch a few colors. I haven't filled out my chart though, so I need to be, let's see, 1, 2, 3 over would be this purple color that I really want to check out again. What's it called? Flash Purple. I want to see how it looks on my watercolor paper, because this is a totally different paper than what they sent. And let's see, let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is flash yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one here is flash yellow. Let's see what that looks like on this paper. These dry up pretty quick. It's not too bad. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is that interference orange. Let's see what that one looks like on my paper. Plan to fill out this chart and then just swatch it privately myself. But I like how it works on this paper a lot more than their paper. This is a lot more of an absorbent one though. All right, that's interesting. Okay, well, let's take a look at the original swatches. So they're almost all dry. Let me zoom you out so you can see. Okay, so they're almost all dry. This one over here is still a little wet, and even that flash yellow here, but do they sparkle? Yes, they do. So we do have some pretty sparkles. I'm seeing the sparkle there. I'm trying not to bend this one too far because I don't want it to drip. Yeah, it looks like we got some good shimmer. And as they dry, they're looking a lot better. I mean, when they're wet, they look muddy-ish. So, I mean, they're drying up also, and you can kind of see the color variances a little better. There's a ton of brownish tones in this set. I just kind of pictured it being a lot brighter because the swatch chart they show online is a lot brighter. Whereas, I mean, look at all that. Those are all just basically brownish reds. And then we got like more bronzes and bronzes. And then we still have browns over here, so it's kind of like overkill. I like these pinks though. These pinks are pretty, and so are these ones. I know they say red, but they're pink. The grape myrtle is okay. It's like a red violet. These purples are really disappointing. Like, I was hoping for a deep, rich purple, and they definitely didn't deliver that. Now, I could make that. I'll have to, you know, play around with mixing these, but I can make a deep, rich purple. It's just not very impressive, I guess. Blue-wise, the blues are really pretty, actually, especially as they dry. They don't look as close to one another. These greens here, those are awfully close. They could have totally done something different with those. And then you have like an olivey green up here, lime green here. The greens are all right, just not super impressive. Glitter water paints can be really hit or miss. The browns are okay, but like I said, it's like already got tons of browns over here, so it's like, I do like this silver. It dried into an actual silver, so I'm digging that. The black dries to more of like a dark gray and not really a true black. But that's kind of with a lot of watercolors because the glitter comes to the surface and kind of mutes that out. The silver black is definitely like a Payne's gray. Flash purple is kind of just disappointing, and it's not even that sparkly. yeah, it's kind of flat all around. Pearl is golden is okay, and then gem red is all right. I don't know if I am enjoying this palette. I am going to swatch them on my paper because I do like, see on my paper here, you can actually see the shimmer a lot better on this watercolor paper. Even with this yellow, let's see if, oh yeah, even flash purple. So look at that, flash purple looks way better on this paper. So before I say goodbye or return them, the watercolor paper they've provided here is a lot smoother, closer to a cardstock, whereas this is a much thicker one. It absorbs a lot better, so that could be part of it as well. So I'm definitely going to swatch them on my paper, and then I'll kind of compare, because even what's interesting is the orange is more vibrant on this one than here, but it's more glittery here, which is what I bought it for. This is the flash yellow. So yeah, see, it's more vibrant on this, but more glittery here. Flash purple actually looks better all around on this one. That's interesting. So yeah, guys, this is the 48 count of Paul Rubens. This is just a swatching video. Please do not take this as an official review. As always, my swatching and first impression videos are literally just that, swatching and first impressions. I need to play with these, I need to paint with these, and then I can give you guys a review. There's the used cake pans. So yeah, I'll be playing with these, mixing them around, swatching them on my paper, and then just keep an eye out for the review. I have so many first impression videos that I have done, and I have to go back and do all the reviews still. So I am running behind, but don't worry, the review will come up, and who knows, maybe by then these will be cheaper, because right now these are about, they fluctuate between 70s and 80s for a 48 count of Paul Rubens. So I really want to make sure I play with these and give you guys the full scope and honest opinion, especially because that is a lot of money to shell out for watercolor, but these will last forever. Like, a half cake pan doesn't scare me, especially with this many colors. These are going to be here for a while. And you can buy these in tubes, so you can always refill your cake pans. I got to make sure they have the same colors. They might not in the glitters, but I know they do in the regular colors. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out while I swatched these. And like I said, just keep your eyes out. I have plenty of reviews coming your way from everything I got from Amazon Prime Day and my month's worth of hauls. I am so backlogged. I still have to review Brute Fooner. So yeah, but I do take my time with reviews because I take reviews very seriously, because I don't want someone to buy something off my review and then hate it because I just quickly rushed through. I actually color multiple pictures now. My old reviews, I would color a single picture. Now I color a minimum of 3. I use different papers, different, like I'm going to try my actual real red squirrel hairbrushes. This is a faux one. So I'm going to test those, going to test different water saturation. I am going to obviously be testing a different type of watercolor paper, and I might even try my other. But yeah, I like to test these pretty thoroughly and not just color a single picture and be like, yeah, they're great, because there's so many variables. But thanks for hanging out while I swatched these sparkly little gems. If you have these, let me know your thoughts. If you do have them, let me know if there's a watercolor paper you have noticed they do better on. I would love to know. My paper here, this is a cold press water paper. Let me know how they do on a hot press. If you have hot press, I might buy some just to test it myself. But I'd love to know your opinion if you own these. Anything you've noticed, if you have a similar feel about the way too many browns up in there and whatnot. But yeah, until then, guys, take care.